Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome back to our latest explainer. Today, we're embarking on a pretty thrilling, honestly deeply emotional sea voyage. We're going to unpack a remarkable story of survival, but it goes way beyond just escaping a sinking ship. We are peeling back the layers of human nature to reveal the true meaning of wealth. It's a story that completely challenges everything society tells us about value, status, and what it actually means to be rich. So, get comfortable, because this narrative, it is as heartwarming as it is pulse-pounding.
Is humanity the greatest wealth? Before we introduce our, very humble protagonist, I want you to just take a second to reflect on the societal judgments we see literally every single day. We live in a world that so often measures a person's worth by their bank account, the brand of their clothes, or, the class of their ticket. But when the unimaginable happens and all that superficial stuff is just stripped away, what truly matters? Keep that question right in the back of your mind as we get into the story.
Section 1. A Priceless Sea Journey. Meet our main character, a young guy from a small village named Aloo. For him, this journey, it's literally a dream come true. He is practically vibrating with this infectious excitement because he's boarding a massive, majestic passenger ship for the very first time. And the kicker? He didn't buy his way on board. He actually won a lottery ticket for the journey. He's traveling way down in third class, boarding this huge vessel with just 2 pairs of clothes to his name. That's the whole shebang. But here's the beautiful thing about Aloo. He doesn't care about what he lacks. He is just overflowing with pure joy and gratitude. While other people might complain about a third-class ticket, Aloo views this ship as a beautiful palace. He's marveling at the decorations, feeling like he's stepped into a dream. His meager material belongings are completely overshadowed by his overwhelming pure happiness.
Section 2. The Divide of Rich and Poor.
Now, unfortunately, Aloo's harmless wonder makes him an immediate target. The wealthy, first-class passengers take one look at his simple clothes and they just begin to mock him, wondering aloud how a poor guy like him even got on board. They're judging him entirely by his third-class status. It's kind of a painful reminder of how quickly people can tear someone down just because they don't have material wealth, right? Their entire value system relies on showing off, status, and fine clothes. But right in the middle of all this mocking, Aloo finds a totally contrasting worldview. He meets a fellow passenger named Gajar, and they instantly form this genuine connection based on a pure heart and true friendship.
My name is Aloo, and I am Gajar. Nice to meet you. From today, we are true friends. It's so simple, yet honestly so profound. As you can guess, they might just be a couple of humble root vegetables in the eyes of the rich. A potato, Aloo, and a carrot, Gajar, but they form a truly grounded connection. True friendship forms effortlessly here, completely bypassing those rigid class lines that the first-class passengers care so much about. Aloo and Gajar bond over the fact that they both come from small villages. They share a beautiful sunset together, noting that the world is incredibly beautiful, and they share a delicious meal, realizing that food always tastes better when shared with a true friend.
Section 3. Ship collides with iceberg.
And then, the beautiful weather, the serene ocean, the joyous music, it all vanishes in an instant. The sky darkens with sudden, dense clouds, and the wind picks up violently. The weather turns incredibly hostile, dropping a dense, blinding fog over the ocean. The crew can barely see a thing, and suddenly, the captain spots a massive iceberg dead ahead. They try with all their might to turn the ship, but it's just too late. A terrifying collision rocks the vessel. The massive ship strikes the mountain of ice, and immediately it starts taking on water and dangerously tilting. That serene palace Aloo was just marveling at, it's now a sinking trap.
This timeline of collision builds into absolute panic on the decks. Passengers are given desperate evacuation orders. First, put on life jackets immediately, and Aloo even takes the time to carefully help Gajar secure hers. Second, they have to carefully make their way to the upper decks as the ship continues to tilt, with Aloo physically catching Gajar to stop her from falling as they climb. But then comes step 3, the most terrifying realization of all. They reach the evacuation zone only to discover that every single lifeboat is completely full. There is literally no room left.
Section 4. Selfless help and survival.
So the crucial point here is with the lifeboats gone and the ship going down, horrifying life-or-death choices have to be made in that freezing ocean water. In the chaos, Aloo is actually offered a sliver of hope, a single spot that could guarantee his safety. But Gajar refuses to leave his side, and Aloo absolutely refuses to abandon his friend. When offered that one safe spot, Aloo makes his stance crystal clear. Friends don't leave each other in tough times. He won't take a safe spot if it means sacrificing her.
Their bond, forged in just a few short hours, is somehow stronger than the utter panic surrounding them.
As the ship goes under, they're forced to jump together into the violent, freezing waves. Aloo tells Gajar to hold his hand tight. Amidst the dark water, they spot a glimmer of hope, right? A floating wooden door. But here is the ultimate sacrifice. When they reach it, Aloo realizes that if they both climb on, the door will flip over and they'll both drown. So Aloo makes a choice. He insists that Gajar climb on top to stay safe, while he remains submerged in the dangerous, freezing water just to keep the makeshift raft balanced. He literally puts his own life at extreme risk, facing the lethal cold, simply to ensure his friend survives.
After what must have felt like an eternity in the freezing dark, rescue finally arrives with the morning light. A rescue ship spots them in the water. The immense, overwhelming relief of being pulled from the brink of death, you can just feel it. Safely aboard the rescue ship, they're given warm cups of tea, drinking in not just the physical warmth, but the realization that they've been given a second chance at life. Every dark night really does end with the morning light.
Section 5. True Wealth of the Heart.
Aloo, forgive us. We made a big mistake mocking you. Today, we understood that humanity is the greatest wealth. As the survivors gather themselves, the wealthy passengers who had previously mocked Aloo offer this really profound apology. Because think about it, the Iceberg didn't care about their first-class tickets. The freezing water didn't care about their expensive clothes. Facing death completely stripped away their material pride. They watched Aloo, the boy they laughed at, demonstrate unparalleled bravery and selflessness, and it just shattered their illusions of what makes a person valuable. And this brilliantly illustrates why kindness defines true wealth. It's not defined by money, or fine clothes, or what class of ticket you hold. Why? Because when the ship goes down, material wealth sinks right to the bottom of the ocean. It can't keep you warm, and it certainly can't save you. Kindness, however, is a currency that builds bonds capable of pulling you from the brink of death. Aloo proves his immense wealth once more right here, because when those rich passengers apologize, he doesn't hold a grudge, not at all. He immediately and graciously forgives them, proving that a truly rich heart readily forgives genuine remorse. Kindness really is the ultimate enduring currency.
The survivors finally make it back to dry land, and Aloo and Gajar receive a joyous, super warm welcome home to their village. The explainer's ultimate takeaway is totally cemented right here. A good heart and true friendship make every difficulty, even staring death in the face, surmountable. They return not with material riches, but with the absolute greatest treasure of all, each other's friendship and a profound understanding of human goodness.
Which brings us to the end of our journey, and to this final, provocative question for you. What is the most precious thing in your life? When the superficial layers are stripped away and the absolute worst storms of life hit, do you prioritize the material goods you own or the intrinsic kindness you share with others? I really hope Aloo's incredible story inspires you to invest in the true wealth of a good heart, the only wealth that survives life's storms. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and until next time, keep learning and keep being kind.